Just breaking news, everyone, please, ladies, gentlemen, stop what you're doing. A very important USFSP TEDx announcement. People who have listened to this presentation typically have a couple symptoms, and so I have to share them with you today just for your fair warning. First being, you will feel an excessive sense of laughing out loud. So, okay, it's kind of called lolling. If you do this, we know it's annoying, please. It's absolutely okay. It's kind of a common thing that happens. Second being, you have excessive hand raising because I'll be asking you to do a lot of things and really just participating in the conversation because it's all about having a conversation. Third being, at the end of this, and probably during, you'll feel an extreme sense of self-reflection, which is the leading cause of taking action and making your life better. So for those reasons and many more reasons, this presentation is rated M for memes. And there's still more memes. Boom. And it's rated M for memes. So on a serious note, thank you everyone for being here. It's absolutely a pleasure. If you didn't catch it already, my name is Mark Lombardi-Nelson, and the presentation today is Just Give, How to Win at Life. And before we start, I want everyone to give a round of applause to the people who put this event on. Events like this is what makes our community great. The opportunity to share ideas worth spreading is the only way that we'll be able to come together as a collective community and continue to build successes and a feeling in a place where we all want to participate in. So thank you for that. Starting the presentation, I always like to start with a story. CJ had said a little earlier, I'm one of 8, and that's kind of where I start. So I have 7 brothers and sisters, 3 older, 4 younger. And the biggest moment of giving back, and my proudest moment of giving back, comes a couple of months ago with my 4 younger brothers and sisters. So I go back home up in Spring Hill, and I pick them up, and I say, kids, come on, we're going. They say, where are we going? And in my heart, I know we're going to the most magical place in Florida that you can ever take your family, which is Publix. And so when you're going to Publix, we're going to get groceries, getting dinner for the night, and so we go through, get the shopping cart, walk through the aisles. Luke, stop hitting your sister. Patrick, put that back. Austin, go get the chicken. And so you come and you go to the cashier's register, check out, and there's typically something that happens at the end of most grocery trips, being there's someone at the end, someone right outside the door saying, hey, we have this really important cause, or we have this purpose, we're here, we have a competition coming up, and we really want to do this. Can you help? And even though we don't come from much, that's just kind of the way it goes, we've always been brought up to say, give what you can. So you hear the typical song and dance, excuse me, sir, can you? And before you finish, yes. Absolutely, the answer is always yes. Give the guy a few dollars, keep walking, and as we go out to the car, I kind of look over, I say, kids, what's the number 1 rule? And in a really beautiful way, all of them looked at me and they said, always give. That's why I'm here tonight. That's why we are here. Even though my life has been short so far compared to some of the other people in the audience, the one thing I've learned from every trial and tribulation, success and failure, is that there's something in common with each instance. And that is, what if I told you, in life you get what you give? What if I told you, in life you get what you give? Think about that. By a show of hands, how many of you agree? So that's a majority of the audience. I'd say like 3/4. By far, it's what I was looking for, so thanks for that. For the 3/4 of you that raised your hand, absolutely, and I hope you join me in this. And I hope you take this and you use it to achieve your own successes and feel, where you belong in your self-satisfaction. And for those of you who didn't raise your hand, you're why I'm here. And so this presentation is for you, so brace yourselves. An explanation's coming. The idea behind this is to practice giving, and not just giving, you should practice altruistic giving, giving without expectation of return, because it's what's right. And so this idea came from, funny enough, someone asking me a question that I thought was silly at the time. Said, Mark, how do you always win all these contests? And for context base, I'm the guy who's won his entire existence in a contest. I was fortunate enough to, win cars or jobs or leadership roles. I just won 5 years of free shipping. And technically we've all won that, existential race to life. So we're all winners. Congratulations. Though when it comes to the point of being so fortunate, I'm like, well, he's got a point. Why does this work that way? What's different? And how can I track it back to help others get the same outcome? And every time, it came back to giving. Whether it was a relationship built or a good deed done, that was the root. And so, how do you practice that? How do you, measure it? What are the consequences, the impact? And ultimately, where I'm going to start is why? Why give it all? I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek, so I think that's where we start. And do you give for charity? No. You don't give for a tax return. You give for yourself. And that's actually been proven through science and psychology. If take Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you're familiar with that, we're all on this journey to reach self-actualization at the very top of that pyramid. Though how do you get there? But by fulfilling the needs and facilitating relationships, by expressing moral and character and ethics and being able to empower others. That's how you get there. That's where you feel self-empowered. So why do you give? You give for yourself to reach that point. And if you're thinking, all right, well, I kind of buy it. That's why, though, how do I do that? Well, that's my job. I'm just here to tell you how. And what I propose is a year of giving. And it's basically a roadmap to practice acts of giving daily, monthly, yearly, whatever you choose, though the importance is to give and to facilitate that relationship. And when you do that, you have to figure out, well, if I'm going to do this, that's great, though how do I know when I get there? How do I know when I'm done? And the answer is, well, you measure it. You just like anything else in life, you have to measure your effectiveness and your success of what that feels like. Because so often we say, it feels good or it feels right. Well, how do you replicate that? And I'm going to tell you, when it comes to giving, there's two ways. First, you establish the type of giving. And the most important part, please, if you take anything away, take this. There is so much more to give than money. There is so much more to give than money. Giving money is the lazy way out. Giving money, and by the way, for people who give money, thank you. We need it. It keeps the lights on. Though, think about it in a sense, giving money, you could give so much more when it comes to your time. It's not the only way to give. So often I hear people say, I can't give anything. That's crap. You can. You can give your time. You can give your expertise. There's something that you do better than anyone else. Give that. I promise you, everyone in this room, a hug goes a long way. Do that. Though the importance is to be able to practice giving. And so that's the first way. Identify all of the types of giving that you may want to do that you think will lead to a positive outcome, and then put a value to it. Good feat, I do a good deed every day, check, done. Or is it, how many hours did I spend doing that? How many dollars did I spend? Sure. Though how many relationships did I build? What did I inspire in people from the inside? How did I make them feel? Ask. And then track it. Was I happy that day on a scale of 1 to 10? And why? And when you do that, you're leading yourself to a place to where when you feel that sense of happiness, because I promise you it's going to happen to each of you when you do this. And when you feel it, you'll know how to replicate it, and you'll know how to maximize your effectiveness to be happy and self-actualized. There it is. So that leads you to this sense of awesomeness, really. I'm so full of life. How did this happen? All of us are TGIF happy today. How many of us are TGIM happy? I know I'm raising it up. Put your hands up if you're TGIM. Exactly. That's the difference. You have to give, and when you do it, TGIM is reserved for a certain type of person. It's either crazies or people that give. I'm both. Though, bringing everything together, you see the importance of doing that, and it's quite simple. You get what you give. You really do. Think about the people who are most well-known, who are most successful. There's a couple names that come to mind. Think Oprah Winfrey. I think she's a great example because she's established such credibility, not only as a female leader, though a leader, as a business leader, as a person, as an individual who has created a life for themselves. And what's the signature catchphrase of Oprah? You get a car, and you get a car, and everybody gets a car, or everybody gets something. She's so dedicated to giving. Think about, Tim Ferriss or Tony Robbins. When they answer life's hardest questions, or they give you energy, they give a perspective, an attitude, a solution to a problem. Those people create armies. They're building relationships based on words they say. They're inspiring because they choose to give. And each of us can choose to do that, which is what I recommend highly. And so, if you're buying into all this, which I really hope you are, it leads you to a couple questions. Where do I start? I know it's difficult, right? It's by far one of the most difficult parts of it. You don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I've got it. I'm going to go save the world. There's a certain place to where, you don't get to be a CEO. You don't get to be the director of human salvation and start, that day. It's a progress. It's a progression. So where do you start? The answer? Here. I love the mantra, think globally, act locally. Do that. There's people here, there's organizations, there's families that need you here in St. Petersburg, Florida, in Tampa Bay, Florida, in the United States, and in the world. In each perspective, each instance of giving will prepare you for the next. So once you realize, all right, I kind of got an idea where to start, though, what do I do? Answer's really simple. Do something. It doesn't necessarily matter the action at hand at first. You just need to get that kickstart. So if you don't know, ask a friend. If you don't have friends, hi, I'm Mark. Though there's people around you who are willing to help you be successful. And there's people around you who want you to reach your pinnacle of existence, to reach self-actualization, and you can do that through giving. So once you realize that you can do that, it kind of creates this really cool world around you where you understand that you create your own reality. You understand that there's a couple types of people in the world, though at the end you have a choice to make. Am I going to build or am I going to destroy? Am I going to love or am I going to hate? Am I going to give or am I going to take? And when enough of us as a collective, when we come together and we say enough is enough, I choose to give. I'm going to make this world a better place. I'm going to practice giving by the way I want to give. And I'm going to analyze it and figure out the best way I give. And I'm going to do that consistently because I know it's going to impact everyone around me. And ultimately, I'm going to reach this point of happiness that I could never take back. So, really, cheers to you. This is a toast. Though it's not just any toast. This is a toast to life. This is about being able to do and change everything you've ever dreamed of because it's possible and it's at your fingertips. It just takes action. And so I commit to you that I'm starting today. I'm going to go on my year of giving. And I invite you to join me. There's so much we can change. There's a line that I'm really fond of. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself, then make a change. Together we can win, and we can win at life. So I invite you to join me. Thank you. There's more. Always got to hit you with the side. So thank you so much. I would like to back up what I say by announcing that this month I am kicking it off with giving to an organization that's very dear to my heart. Being a musician and an artist, this organization enables, the freedom of artistic expression as well as social justice. And it's not linking again. Oh, no. Jim. Yeah. So I can speak about the organization it's the studio at 620, and it's an organization that gives so much back to the community. And they give because the answer is always yes with them, and that's something that resonates so well within my own heart, to where they're open to anything and everything. So if you have an idea to share, just like this forum, or if you have something that you've worked on very passionately, or if you have, this being that you need to release, that you need to start, you're an emerging artist, they support you. And I believe that's the most brilliant and beautiful thing anyone can ever do, because when you give someone a chance, when you give someone an opportunity, that's more than anyone could ever ask of. And the outcomes of that go far beyond our own reach. So I ask you to join us there. These are the ways I recommend giving. If you can come up with more creative ones, absolutely do so. And thank you so much for your time.